They call it the Doctor in Western Australia for a number of reasons. In the old days, there was a morgue to the south of Fremantle, and the bodies used to sit in the morgue, and when the sea breeze hit, it used to carry the scent of the dead people across the town. So they would say that that was the smell was coming from the Doctor.
Okay. All right. Cool. Well,
I don't know how true that one is.
what does it take to do well here?
I guess the big thing about this whole sport is the tradition is a crossing type event, you know, going from either one island to another, and I guess in this case it's one island to another, but I guess Australia is more regarded as a mainland, so crossing from the island to the mainland makes the event unique. It's sort of a challenge, and it sort of gives that appeal of, you know, making progress. So I guess that's what sets this race apart from other sort of coastal events. And there's not that many crossing events in the world. There's probably only 3 or 4. So, you know, they really stand out. And for me, they're really sort of special events. And I guess the other big thing is that the island just happens to be in exactly the right spot at exactly the right distance to make a good downwind race to the destination that we want to go to. So the appeal there is definitely there. You know, the wind blows most of the time in that direction. You know, it's 26 kilometres, so you need to have endurance. You need to be able to ride runs. That's really important because this is a downwind race. And you need to be able to win. You know, you've got to have that in you. If you can't win, there's too many good guys here that are willing to win a little bit harder than you are. So, if you're not willing to win and put it in that last 15, 20 minutes, then chances are you won't win. So, they're the key things.
So I'll just go through the course with everyone again. We're going to start between the western side of the jetty and the boat with the pink flag on it. Everyone see that? Everyone must pass through that gap. Everyone understand that? So, I know I'm boring. But everyone must be stacked this side of that. I know there's a lot of boats there, but work it out. As I said last night, if you don't think you can win, just sit back.
Come on, the guys on the swordfishers, back it up.
I wanted to keep on the start line a lot of the fast guys on my right, because the chop comes across from when you're going towards the hotspot, comes from your right to your left. But I made the decision that I was going to go for the hotspot, so I was very happy to take that out.
Getting close to the hotspot, there was a few boat washers and waves sort of washing around, and I had a crack at it, and my brother sort of came past in front of me, and I bashed into his ski, and that kind of put paid to that, and that actually set me right back, and then I got squashed onto that marker.
I just really want to always be up the top sort of 10, and you don't want to be away from the lead guy, because one run's 5 seconds, two runs 10, and then once they're ahead one run, then you've got to make that up. You'd never want to be out of touch. You never want to not be able to see the leader or that sort of thing.
The first 10 Ks I was under pressure. This year, I put it all on the line to win the hotspot. So directly afterwards, I experienced a bit of a dip, and that's when Corey, Boothie and David all came past me. So, and that really set the tone for the next 10 Ks really.
Right now the wind's just started blowing at my back, which is exactly the direction we want it to be blowing at. And as this builds and as it gets over 12 knots, it'll start creating whitecaps, and those whitecaps become surfable for these types of craft. And what happens is, because there's an island here, it creates a crossover in the swells. So at some point when you're out of the lee of the island, you start getting swells from the left and the right. And that's when the guys with the most experience can work the swells backwards and forwards and get the really long rides. So it's similar to surfing, or it's similar to downhill skiing, where you're continually looking for areas to fall into. And that's all this downwind stuff is just looking for areas to put your boat into.
So coming into the marker, we all grouped together again. I couldn't believe it actually. I was like, oh man, now we're gonna have to do this again. And I knew that Jasper would put in a big interval off the marker, so I was ready for that. And I don't think Corey was ready for that, because we were sort of maintaining a solid pace up to the marker, and I was just getting ready to put the hammer down for at least 2 or 3 minutes. And yeah, that's exactly what happened. Jasper went for 2 or 3 runs, and I counted that, and that's when we dropped Corey just off the marker.
Hotspot's always a hit and miss for me. I'm not really a fast twitch paddler, but that was a good start. And then the first half was just a bit of hard work until the wind came through. But once the wind was in, it was just, just surfing the whole way back. It was fantastic.
We underestimate how dehydrated we get in this race, because I was suffering, and now knowing what David said, he was also suffering a bit. The key moment for me came when I spotted the trig marker before they did. To be truthful, we were actually on a terrible line. Me, Corey, and David, we were way out to the left. And if one of the other guys had maybe gone inside quicker, they probably could have gotten to the marker ahead of us. I thought of looking back to see where Corey was, but I knew if I did look back to see where he was, that would be like almost an instantaneous, it would be a subconscious decision like, okay, I'm okay, I'm going to fight for second. So that, no, bugger that, I'm not going to think about second here, I want to win this. And the overwhelming feeling that I've had since crossing the line up until this point is this: I feel extremely, extremely fortunate, and I feel so humbled to have won the race. Coming to the beach, I thought of sort of throwing my arms in the air and claiming it, but I didn't have that feeling. It wasn't like that. It was like, that would be disrespectful. And I thought, I'll just acknowledge it and say thank you, because I know that, a small thing could have happened and the result could have been different. So I feel very, very fortunate.